So here we are again right now because this morning, last night. So technically, I'm hours behind for day one, but that's what happens. Technology has not been technologying. I am aware that, solar flares, we have the solar flares and the eclipse, things happen to technology. There's also two times a year that technology is interrupted based on there's something that happens around the solstice, and so technology is affected by that. Learned that watching or listening to NPR radio. All right, so here goes. Let me tell you about what's been going on. Yesterday, what happened? Basically, here's the recap for yesterday, and then a few more hours, I'll give you the recap of what happened today. All right, so yesterday, got up, did a meditation. Oh, first off, for watching this, first off, I'm Asa Leveaux. The whole purpose of this is day one of my $1 million Odyssey. And the $1 million Odyssey is to showcase the journey I'm on to creating $1 million in my business. I am 10 clients away from doing that. I have a program to do that. What we do at House of Icons is we help you create, position, and monetize your expertise. I'll say that again. We help you create, position, and monetize your expertise. So think of it like this. We help you get paid not just for what you do, but for what you know. Um, my desire is to have this done by July 6th. It's on a Saturday. So yesterday I got up and yeah, I did the meditation. I then did a guided visualization. I then typed in YouTube on Millionaire. Saw the first thing that came up was a session by Alex Hormozy. I have not consumed a lot of his content, not because I don't like him, just because I just haven't consumed a lot of his content. I liked his content that I saw. It talked about the journey of most entrepreneurs, if not all. And he said it started out, you start the journey by having, um, you are an uninformed optimist. So you don't know a lot, but you get motivated and inspired. You see other people's successes, you learn what's possible. And so now you're an uninformed optimist. You're just ready to go, but not a lot of acumen, lessons, skills attached to it. Then you do your best. You go to conferences, you interview people, you listen to podcasts, you read books, and then there comes a time when you become a informed pessimist. So you know a lot, and now you can be mentally, emotionally, spiritually bogged down by the minutia of it all. Like, how in the whole world is any of this supposed to happen? And I mean, how is any of this supposed to happen? And then once you do that, a lot of times you can find yourself in what he called the valley of despair. And then you rotate back to being a uninformed optimist. And you just keep going and keep going and keep going. And I can say that for the last 10 years, that has been my reality, that whole keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Yeah. Um, but yeah, that's what I've been feeling over the last decade for sure. And then he says once you can come out of that valley of despair, you enter something called the informed optimist. So now not only do you have the skill, the knowledge, but now you also have some hope attached to that skill and that knowledge. And that's where I desire to be more. That's how I started this Odyssey, this $1 million Odyssey. And today is feeling, I can't talk about today. I talked about yesterday. I'll see about that later. So that's where I am. That's how I started this, being an informed optimist. So I had already told you all on day zero, the previous video, that I was going to be helping my brother move. He has a new place. Plus, it was his birthday. So I wanted to support him on his birthday in that way. Something else that I did, because I was helping him, um, I was also very clear that I needed to get some things done. So I'm in the U-Haul truck with him and I'm making calls. So there's a organization here, a studio, a film studio here locally. And yeah, I reached out to them. They have not reached back out. I reached out to them so that I could have a place to record the webinar, because I've chosen a webinar. I'm not going to call it a webinar, but I've chosen a webinar to be my conversion tool. So the thing that converts them from being a lead to a client, that's the tool that I will be using. So I did make some movement. I've also made movement requesting individuals to apply, or to let me know if they're interested in being either an online business manager or a project manager, because I'm already thinking about the fulfillment. A lot of the manifestations and visualizations that I use and that I have been using talk about not this whole affirmation thing. So affirmation is, I am wealthy, I am strong, I am beautiful, all those different things, but more of a feeling, more of a residing inside of. So rather than, you know, say I'm a millionaire, saying I'm the CEO of $1 million business, what does it feel like? Paint the picture. What does it feel like for that to happen? I've done that my entire life and didn't realize it. Most of us have done that our entire lives and didn't realize it. Getting a driver's license. So I was 16 when I got my license. From the time I was probably 13 until 16, I visualized that day. It was very, very clear by the time I actually did it. I knew what having a driver's license was going to feel like. I knew what being on a steering wheel was going to be like. I knew exactly what I was going to do once I got my driver's license. I was calling my best friend Andre, and we were going to go to the mall. That's what we were going to go do. Remember, I'm an 80s baby. So that's what we did in the 90s. We got our license, we went to the mall. It's kind of like if TikTok was a place. So that's what we did, because the mall is very different from the mall of today ish. It was a lot more shit though. So you have dog visualizations with that. So residing in that place. And as a result of me residing in, like, okay, so the 10 people that I desire happened, right? I'm thinking about what's the day to day like. And the day to day looks like somebody supporting me with the fulfillment. So so desiring that online business manager or project manager, putting the feelers out for that. Also, the day looked like coming to terms with the realization that I was feeling lonely. I was feeling very, very lonely, and I had not stepped into that loneliness. I hadn't stepped into it because I was being busy around my loneliness, or the loneliness that I felt. I don't want to take ownership of it. It's not mine. I don't desire ownership of it. So the loneliness that I was feeling. And so um, I was masking it with porn, masking it with lots of dating sites. And on day zero, you found out that I had deleted all apps, porn things from my phone. So when you don't have the very thing that you masked it with, you're left with it. And that's what happened. So there's a song, I'm in Your Arms, that I love. I absolutely adore this song. And so I made myself some tea. I listened to that song and I went to sleep. Once the song stopped playing, I turned on some lo-fi. Yeah, I took a nap because helped my brother move a lot. And then all my nasal stuff started because in Oklahoma, yeah, allergies are real. And I took two Zyrtec and a Benadryl, and it still was not working out. So, on top of being frustrated about things not working out the way I desired for them to work out, on top of feeling lonely, all of that, so I need to take a nap, and I did. It's okay to take naps. Um, started. I had done a 5-day challenge prior to. I had done a 5-day challenge this past weekend because I don't like going through challenges day by day. Like as they release the content, if I do a challenge, I need all the content available, and then I can just go through all of it at once. That's how I like to consume information. Um, so I got a new email script for outbound emails, and I started using it, and I had a response, and I only sent like 20, and that percentage felt really, really good, and the quickness of it coming, it was like within the 2 hours that I had started, I had already got a response. That felt really good. So awesome. Because even though I said, I will do Plasma, I will do Grubhub, DoorDash, I'll do whatever I need to do to make this a reality. I'd rather sell the things that I sell. Yeah, I'd rather do that. So I have to put things in place. So, um, let's go back to the loneliness part. No, let's not go back to that part. Let's remember that part. So day one also was the day of the eclipse. I was in the site of the total eclipse, so I was able to go downtown and get some eclipse glasses and see it and all of that. And while the eclipse was happening, I was doing my best to uncouple with someone I'm not even coupled with. Yep, I am completely single. I really am. I'm completely single. And if you are a grown up, you may know how you can find yourself having relationship type thoughts, feelings, arguments, discussions with someone you are not with. Like, we're not even together. Like, we are not even together. And all this. So I was doing my best to uncouple from them. I will call him Texas. For the state of this, I will call him Texas. Um, oh, day zero, I told you I was pansexual, so don't act new. So yeah, I did my best to uncouple, and his responses felt like he wanted to stay around. I was like, oh, because I was not expecting that from him. I just wasn't. And so I did go see him just for a visit, just for a regular visit, and I got my hug that I needed because, like I said, I was feeling quite lonely, quite alone, and yeah, like lonely to the point that you know how you get that cuff on your arm when you are getting your blood pressure checked and it kind of squeezes your arm. Like I love that feeling that I will take the pseudo comfort of the tightening of that device and allow it to soothe me. That might sound really, really deplorable. That might sound whatever, but that has been my reality. Like just having that is a sense of comfort, that feeling of being held, secured, nurtured. And I will say that the way do relationships, I am the person doing the securing. I am the person doing the nurturing. I am the big spoon. Um, yeah, I am the big spoon. And big spoons still sometimes need to be cocooned, cocooned in a certain space. I can say that. Yeah. Sometimes big spoons need to be cocooned. And that's what I was feeling. And so I got my hug, and then I came home, doing my best to doing my best to do the video, and it was not happening. So I fried up like a can of corn and green beans, put those together, fried them up because I'm vegan. Well, I'm doing best to be vegan because crab legs are a thing. Um, and then went to bed, and then got up. So that was day one. So progress was made. Something else that I did on day one was I did choose a date for the webinar to record the webinar. And that's going to be April 25th. Now I'm thinking I'm probably going to have it pre-recorded. I don't think I'm going to do a live webinar. I think I'm going to do it, have it edited, have it done, and then present it to the world. Because there's a lot of I've learned over the years. Like I said, I've been doing this for over 10 years. There's something about me, me personally. I take on so much, and I'm still doing my best to learn how to trust others. So I'm I'm clear about the content of the webinar, but the the different positions that support the webinar being produced. I'm always thinking about that. So I'm thinking about the lighting. I'm thinking about the slides. I'm thinking about the people watching. Are they being supported? I'm thinking about my own level of anxiety in the moment. Thinking about sales. I'm thinking about the sales conversations. I'm thinking about, okay, was that like, if it's like an approval process, like they have to apply, right? Did they apply? Or the conditional responses set in the right way so that the form can be filed, so that then the stripe connected properly, deposits done, what questions could they have, what did I like, all these questions and thoughts are running through my brain almost simultaneously. And so to alleviate that this time, it's going to be best for my well-being to do this pre-recorded so I can only worry about the content and the deliverability, and that allows me to be present in that moment, completely present. Yeah, because then I'm not worrying about the numbers. So like, how many signed up, and do I feel some type of way about how many signed up? And then for those, if I say like, I had a webinar, we had over 1,000 registrations, and we had like 840 sign up. There was a previous webinar of mine. But you're seeing the numbers, you're looking at the chat or not looking at the chat. Then is your audience, do they feel ignored because you aren't looking at the chat because you're doing your best to deliver? And then what happens if the slide doesn't work? Like all of those things. And so I desire to alleviate those things for sure. So that was day one. I don't know how these other 89 days are going to go, but I'm hopeful. I definitely have informed optimism. I do not feel as though I am in the valley of despair. I do not. There are some things that I am healing. There are some things that I'm still experiencing, but I do not feel like I'm in the valley of despair. I don't. All right, so that is all. I'm going to hope that I can end this well, because I didn't end the last one well. So let's hope I can end it well. So with that being said, I'm Ace Leveaux, Dreams and Radical. Radical.